Y'all waiting for me? Hola, mi gente. Welcome to Saturday night. How are you, beautiful people? So glad to see so many people in the room. Please hit that like and subscribe on your way in. Tonight's going to be hella spicy. I'm going to say some shit and you're going to be like, what?
Oh, not you.
Not me, right, Lily? I rarely do that, but tonight I'm in the mode.
On
Right?
Sunday Eve, right before
On,
these people got to go to church in the morning, they got
on,
church in the morning.
on Sunday Eve. That's how we come in tonight. Okay. This is a very interesting story. Very interesting story. Everyone hit that like and subscribe for mama. You guys are ready now. I am on the block with Jen, your favorite devil's advocate, pain in the ass, whatever. You hate lurkers. Hi, babies. Good to see you here on Saturday night. You guys are consistent. I'll give you that. Everyone else in the chat, hold us down. You already know the rules. You guys could come up here, rebut, argue, contradict, whatever. Come on up. You're more than welcome. The block is an open panel. You can pull up. Okay, we ask that you don't act the monkey ass fool. No pun intended for tonight's topic. But don't come up here acting the monkey ass fool tonight. Okay, and then go cry in the car. Okay, so you can reach me on all social media platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm mostly on Instagram and on TikTok. Facebook is whatever. All right, guys. Also for business, on the block with Jen at Gmail. On the block with Jen at Gmail. Topics, discussions, feedback, ideas, whatever it is, collaborations on the block with Jen at Gmail. Okay, if you want to support the show with your pockets and help us keep the street lights on the block, that is Cash App scrolling on the bottom. Thank you for my whittle heart made of cold ice to the ladies and gentlemen who cash at me after they catch the replay because they appreciate our programming. All right, guys. As you can tell, I just ran in here and landed in my seat. I will pass the mic. Lily, let the people know really quickly where to find you so we can get into this. We know it's late, East Coast. We know it's late, so we're here. No fluff tonight. We're getting straight to the point.
All right, and this just in: Jen has been fired from On the Block with Jen for saying "monkey ass fool."
Damn it! I just
Yeah,
got here, Lily.
I know. This just in. But I'm Lily of YB Limited, the letter Y, the letter B, the word limited, and it's spelled right here on the screen. And you can find me here on YouTube as well as Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
With your little Diane Warwick wig. You look nice. Warwick.
Dionne Warwick, is that what you're trying to say, sir?
Yeah,
I think it's Dionne Warwick. Dionne Warwick, okay.
Okay, all right.
I fucked it up already. Anyway.
It's okay.
Musician and music guy, Heron DeMarco. You heard some of my stuff in the intro. You can catch me here as Heron DeMarco. Heron.DeMarco. You can catch me on Instagram and Threads as Dangerous DeMarco. And you can look me up on Apple Music and Spotify under Heron DeMarco.
And I am Saint, no Saint, or no Saint, no Saint. One of those. Anyway, find me on YouTube at Saint No Saint, on IG at Saint No Saint, on TikTok just at No Saint, and rest in peace, Jimmy Buffett.
Whoever that is, rest in peace. Do we know who that is?
I know who it is.
No, it's just the way you sounded when you said this shit. Like, yeah, whoever that is.
Oh, sorry. I was in a rush. I really don't know who that is, though. Who is that?
He's a singer. He's a recorder.
Margaritaville.
Yes.
That's his most famous song.
How does that go?
I can't sing. Haran, you want to try it?
Oh, no, we're not
Really?
doing that.
Anybody?
Google it. We gonna send you the YouTube link after the show.
Listen, okay, R.I.P. dude. I don't know. Okay, so
This is
a
horrible
that type of night.
Okay,
it's that type of night. All right, guys, let me put this on subs only. I want to say something really quickly. Thank you for all the love on our last 2 streams. Okay, those numbers are doing great for the block. It was who ruined the image of Black women, hip hop, Black men themselves, or the media. We got a lot of great feedback. I keep hearing this though, guys. I'm glad there's a lot of people in the room because I keep hearing this. You talking about people and ain't no Black women on the panel, right? So this is what we do. We cover current events. We cover celebrity events. We cover race, we cover relationships, we cover politics, we cover AI, artificial intelligence, we cover a lot of things. Here's what the block is not going to do. When we cover a story, we're not going to go scouring the earth looking for people that fall under that category. However, I've said ad nauseum, this is an open panel. So if we're talking about aliens and you're an alien, come on up. If we're talking about Black women and you're a Black woman, come on up. If we're talking about Puerto Rican women and you don't feel like I represent enough and you're Puerto Rican, come on up. If we're talking about Asians or artificial intelligence or technology and you feel like you're more well-versed than we are, come on up. If we're talking about race or racism and you feel like you know more about racism than you do, come on up. But don't cry in the comments talking about there was nobody there to represent your topic. Because what I'm not going to do on top of everything else I got to do all fucking day long, okay, is make everybody happy. Either you like the content or you fucking don't. And you know how I feel. If you fucking don't, you can fuck off or you can hate lurk or like all the people right now who are not clicking like and watching us. Either you shut your fucking chicken wing hole and watch us or don't come through at all. It is very, very simple. If I don't like a bitch, I don't watch a bitch. But you guys are inclined to hate watch. Therefore, fuck off. What I'm not going to do is search for who would satisfy you on the panel. My panel is open. We spoke about the image of Black women for 2 nights straight. If you were a Black woman or a Black man because you didn't feel Haran sufficed, then you should have brought your Black ass up here on the panel, okay? We are open. This is an open panel, but I'm not going to talk about a thing and then go looking for, hey, let's make sure everybody's represented. That is not what we do. Okay. All right. Let's get this party started. And I'm going to put it on subscribers only because I got a feeling y'all going to be froggy tonight. Now, I don't mind you being froggy, but you got to subscribe before you jump. Okay. All right. Lily, hold them down for a minute while I put this on subs only.
All right. Well, listen, I really wanted us to do this topic. So when I realized that we were going to do this topic, I was like, yeah, I got a feeling we all have a lot to say about this because, I started watching this show and it's in the beginning, right? So I have a lot to say. And I was there for all of the changes with the Atlanta stuff and everything like that. So, yeah, I know they're going to be pissed. It's okay. I saw the comments. They were kind of funny. I love it. They're like, freaking transgender. like, okay, great.
Yeah. Did you see one of the comments? There was like a Black man, a white man, a Puerto Rican, and a trans woman. Ain't nobody representing them. Bring your ass on up here. Okay. It is an open panel. I can't say that enough. And do it while our prices are low, bitch. Because if you were watching The View, if you were watching The Real, if you were watching The Talk, you wouldn't be in their comments, no one representing us. You would just be fucking watching. Okay. This is an open panel. I cannot say that enough. You can come on up. We let 2 people up here last night who had differing opinions and we let them go ham. Okay. This is not a fucking echo chamber. All right. All right. Let's get into this.
Another thing that we're not going to do is that I'm not going to check with you motherfuckers over like if my responses are good with the nigga committee. I don't give a fuck about you dudes like that. Get the fuck out of here, man. I say what the fuck I want to say. Nobody's paying my bills. You dudes is moving the needle in my life. I say what the fuck I want to say, how I want to say it. You don't like it, you come up and say it in the manner that you feel it should be said. It's really that simple.
Yes, this just in, honey. This just in. Oh, I'm sorry.
However, if you do want DeMarco to say exactly what you want to say, that's going to be about $100 a pop in my Cash App. And I'll say whatever the fuck you want to say, man, when I come up here on the block with Jim. $100 a pop, though. Anyway, go ahead.
Also, we gonna know you get that coin if you start changing your tune. Okay.
Hey, look, listen, you know what I mean? You know, business is business, man. Nothing personal.
Okay, so let me just... Hold on. Yeah, it's fine. Thanks for the heads up. Go ahead, No Saint.
No, I just thought something was really funny today. And people are trying, I was like, what are they doing? Trying to get riots going, people fighting. So this weekend for the next 4 or 5 days, there's Southern Decadence going on in New Orleans. I'm hoping to get down there tomorrow and take some footage. That is a very friendly LGBTQ festival that's gone on for a long time here. And tonight, the same night that a lot of this is going on, Garth Brooks is in the Superdome. Now, Garth Brooks says he welcomes everybody, but I don't know if the people going to the Superdome are that type of crowd.
They're not. They're not, because I lived next to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium when I was in Atlanta, and I was there for a Garth Brooks concert. So I got to see the crowds of like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Garth Brooks. They look different. They look different.
When I saw Garth Brooks after they said Southern Day, and then they said, and tonight Garth Brooks is this, so I just started laughing. I'm like, who did that? I'm like, that is funny.
Uh-oh, no saying they taking your hotel card.
Uh-oh.
You going up for Jimmy Buffett and Garth Brooks. They're like, what's next? What's next?
Hey, I try to cover it all.
I know.
Okay,
you
so
can't cover it all here.
Okay, so I got some great news, y'all. I got some great news. This just in from the haters desk. Someone named Kevin just left a comment on my On the Block with Jen. He says, they dragging you on Twitter already, so my job done. And I said, yes, honey, finally. So round of applause to the block. Round of applause to the block. I told this person, he or she, thank you for the heads up. Finally, looking forward to the new subs and the new subscribers and the new views. Finally, they dragging me. You guys are late. I've been working my ass off for years over here. You guys are late, but I appreciate you. So go ahead to the dragging. All my love to everybody on X. Matter of fact, it's not Twitter anymore. It's X. I am honored to be dragged on a platform called X. Okay. Thank you for the heads up. Thank you. That's why we got extra people in the room tonight. Welcome everybody. All right.
And we have more things to piss you off. And if you go scroll down, we were glad to piss you off.
Especially tonight. So let's get into this. Lily, you probably know more about Love and Hip Hop than I do. So I will be referring to you for certain things. Fighter Complex, how are you, darling? I'm rushing some. Hola. Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I'm good now. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I'm in the Bronx. This Wi-Fi is ghetto, but yeah.
Are you in a good place? Because it ain't good to just be in the Bronx Park somewhere doing nothing. You good?
Yeah, I'm over here by Hunts Point, so it's a great area.
You gotta drive off.
You're driving too slow. You're driving too slow.
Now,
All right. Well, stay safe out there in the boogie. Welcome. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm getting dragged on X.
Wait one second. I gotta say something. Is YouTube Press in the chat right now?
YouTube Press is in the chat.
I gotta get an extra shout out to YouTube Press. This motherfucker is promoting the channel like a motherfucker.
Is he?
He be putting up fucking clips. The clips when we were in Vegas. The motherfucking shit when we were in Vegas. All that shit. Yo, homie. This motherfucker's promo.
Thank you.
That's what a real supporter does. That's what a real supporter does.
Salute.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
All right. I'm telling you.
Go home, you useless.
This is our time. This is our time. Thank you so much, Adam Hearn, for the early super chat. Adam Hearn says, Black women only listen to diverse channels and Cynthia G. Yo no sé. You guys have heard me say before, Cynthia G is a necessary evil. Unfortunately, she's a necessary evil. And she interviewed me before. I thought she was cool with me, so it's whatever. Okay, you respect me, I respect you. So tonight,
it's that simple.
It really is that simple. So tonight, welcome everybody in the room. Good to see you. Glad to see you here. No, Saint, did you introduce yourself and say where everybody can see you? You did?
Yeah, but I just want to put a special invite out to Moxie. I see she's in the chat.
Oh, your internet crush? Your internet crush?
Your YouTube wife?
Yeah, your YouTube wife. That's it.
Your YouTube ex-wife, I should say.
She's feisty.
Okay, so, yeah, feisty.
He loves it.
Okay, guys. So tonight's topic: Love and Hip Hop Atlanta fires Erica Mena for calling castmate castmate Spice a racial slur. The castmate's name is Spice. Okay. Now I stopped watching Love and Hip Hop many, many, many moons ago, but I catch clips here and there. I did see the video, okay, the evidence where she called Spice, Erica Mena specifically called Spice a monkey. And then she said a blue monkey, and I guess that's because Spice had a blue wig on.
That's a
Um,
signature.
Oh, that's her signature. Oh,
Mhm.
that's why. Okay, I was like the blue monkey. I was like, okay, was it because of the wig or so that's her signature. Okay, so it makes even more sense now. So I saw that clip. They were arguing. Mona Scott Young. I put her on the thumbnail because she has made a mint off these women and men. That is Mona Scott Young there in the middle. She owns the franchise Love and Hip Hop New York, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop LA. That's the lady right there. That's the boss lady in the middle. Spice is the woman in the blue wig. Erica Mena is the woman in the purple sequins outfit. Okay. Here's what I'm glad to see. And a lot of the blogs that posted this, a lot of people are dragging, okay, Mona Scott Young. And here's why I'm glad to see that. Because it's very easy to flip on Spice or very easy to flip on Erica Mena. But I like that they're going after the source, right? So it seems like, people are now smartening up and wisening up to the fucking game and the puppetry that goes on with not only social media but reality shows. But they are dragging Mona Scott Young like I'm getting dragged on X this evening.
I
So
love it.
they are dragging Mona Scott Young, I think rightfully so, right? Because it is obvious, we all know by now that these shows are filmed months, if not a year in advance. We know this. This didn't just happen. Okay. So Mona Scott Young was privy to this footage for a very, very long time. However, she still okayed it to be used for promo. Okay. For promo. So she didn't mind having a Latina call a black woman a monkey all over her promo, right? And then a couple people raised Cain and Abel. So Mona Scott Young announced that Erica Mena will not be returning for the next season. Now, I like that wording because she didn't say fired for good, fired forever.
I kept catching that, and all the accounts, I kept catching that.
Okay.
Yes.
She didn't say fired for good, fired forever. But here's the thing. I think by now, okay, I know a lot of people are dumb. Most people are cattle. A lot of people are dumb. They're remote control Negroes, like Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, right? You could nudge them a little and they're like, oh God, your head hurts, right? That's what's happening since the explosion of social media. However, a lot of people are getting wiser and wiser. And we know where this is headed, right? We know that maybe not next season. Mona Scott Young's not going to let her next season, but maybe the season after that, Erica's going to come through with a soliloquy of an apology and how she learned and she didn't mean to hurt anybody, but if she did, she apologizes and she's learned from this and now she's in race sensitivity courses and Mona Scott Young could promote that. The return of Erica Mena. We've seen this movie 1,000 times. We've seen dozens of reality shows. We know how this is going to end up. Yeah, we know how this is going to end up. So I'm not going to lie. I was quite pleased to see everybody complaining about the source and saying Love and Hip Hop itself is just degenerative programming and it needs to cease. The entire show, not just Erica Mena, but the entire show. I got a shitload more to say, but I'm going to pass the mic.
All right. Well, damn, you covered a lot of shit I wanted to say, but let me add on to that.
Say it in your words.
Yeah, I got some things to add to that. So the thing is, like I said, I've been watching since the beginning. I've watched Erica into the chat on Love and Hip Hop New York. And then everybody kind of started to flock from New York to Atlanta because Atlanta is their biggest franchise, right? Okay. And this is the thing that got me. Erica has done so many violations in her career as a reality TV star on Love and Hip Hop. And it took that for them to fire her. And really, like, I'm looking at it like you as it's more like a suspension, just because it's going to be even bigger for the ratings when they bring her back. The same thing
Oh,
they
for sure.
did on Basketball Wives with Brandy when she approached what's the girl's name, when she confronted Shawnee for being a puppet master.
Oh,
Because
oh,
that
that's right. Because Shawnee, she's doing the same thing. Mona, well, she did the same thing Mona Scott Young did,
oh
but with Basketball Wives.
she's still doing it. It's
Yeah,
back on. It's back on. So she Brandy was like, "Fuck that! I'm not kissing your ass. Like you're a puppet master. You shouldn't be the producer and on the show." And
hmm
so that's the one thing that Mona doesn't do. She does her puppet mastery and behind the scenes, right?
hmm hmm
So this goes back to a lot of the conversations that we've had on the block. And for those of us that have the balls to have these tough conversations about race and where the black community is at and how did the black community get here and how complicit the black community is in the state of the black community. We get dragged, right? We get
hmm
dragged on here every time. But I always say
hmm
Exhibit A always shows up. And
hmm
this is
hmm
Exhibit A. This is just another exhibit of that. The
hmm
moment we get the power, and Mona has that type of power, right?
hmm
That
hmm
that she puts on, and she don't just put on Love and Hip Hop. She has other shows too. All
Right.
of them are with black people, and
hmm
all of them
Oh no,
mostly
she
black
she
women.
and let me really quickly. She actually has a show with this reggaeton artist and her reggaeton husband in Spanish language, and Mona Scott Young was running around with them on their yacht. The reggaeton artist's name is Nati Natasha. She's Puerto Rican and Dominican, so Mona is broadening her horizons all the way to the people that speak Spanish.
She's a smart bitch, but this is she's a crafty one too, but she's smart, right?
Crafty one.
She's crafty. So yeah, like okay, so the majority of her shows are black women acting ratchet. Okay,
Yes.
even ones with like talent, actual talent. The Escape and SWV show was just complete, like literally tore a family apart. That show literally
Mm.
tore a family. If you know Escape, the two sisters, they've always been like this to the
Mhm.
detriment of their group. That's actually why the group broke up. But
Mhm.
that show split apart a family. That show aired last year. It's still split apart today. And
Mhm.
all the viewers do is look at it as content and
Mhm.
entertainment, while a whole family has been torn apart here, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I have more to say, but I'm gonna leave it at that. Let the gentlemen have their say.
Gentlemen.
It should sound like just contract negotiations. This shit is just all for just fucking show. Y'all been knew this shit.
Mm.
Y'all been knew she fucking said this shit. And somebody had to say that, oh, that might not go well. But you let the shit happen anyway, because you knew the shit would most likely turn into this. Look, Erica Mena is a different case. She transformed herself into literally the Erica Kane of the reality TV world, where she sits very well in that villainhood shit. And she done made a big, nice piece of coin off of that for a lot of years, because I recall that she outlasted many of the original cast members that, you know what I mean, she was paired with back in the days. I don't watch, you know what I mean, Love and Hip Hop, you know what I mean, after like maybe the first one when they were in New York. After that, I was like, man, I'm cool with this shit. But of course, she's on the timeline, she was whatever, you know what I mean. I know people who are related to Mona Scott's song, so it's still around. But I will say this though, you know, yeah, they came for Mona Scott, but I'm not gonna let a number of them off the hook, a number of these black women off the hook, because I saw a number of them blaming men. So a number of blaming black men, especially the brothers who were like, they should have did that to, you know what I mean, Erica Mena. Oh my God, they was called all kinds of traitors. Oh, they always going with the preference. You can't trust these niggas. Blah blah blah. I saw one said that's why she said, and I screenshotted this shit. She said something along the lines of, "That's why I turn my head anytime they get caught up with the police or child support." I said, "Oh shit." Oh shit, is that deep? So yes, there were a number of women in there who were blaming black men as well. So I don't. I had to throw that out there.
Wow. I'll answer George's question because he updated because I didn't understand it at first, but then he updated it. So after no saying, I'll answer George's question.
So I just need to know a few things. Was this incident? This was broadcasted, right?
Yep.
And
promoted before the broadcast.
It's not live. It's not a live show. I can't hear you.
Did that episode air, or was that just a trailer? Did the whole episode air, or was it just a trailer? Because I was under the impression it was just a trailer for an upcoming show. Did it air?
I think it aired. From the comments that I saw, people were complaining that it actually aired.
Okay, because
it had to air. It had to air because it's been actually. I started seeing that trailer about 2 weeks ago, so it had to air by now.
Okay, just for confirmation's sake, if anybody lurking knows, if anybody in the chat knows, was that episode actually aired, or was it just an upcoming trailer for a show? Because that would be some great information to have. Does anyone know that? Throw it in the chat. Go ahead, No Saint.
So, sorry. Even if it did not air, it was the trailer was run. It was most likely taken from several different angles, repeated more than once, because that's how those shows do. And someone had the mindset to say that it wasn't a problem then. And then suddenly it airs and now it's a problem. So to me, it definitely sounds like publicity, something to go viral. That's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't, because it does what we tend to do. I know I tend to do this when I'm watching something like The Real World or something, or one of these shows that's, quote unquote reality. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, in your mind, when you're in the show, you're thinking, oh, wow, this is live. This is all spontaneous. But when you ever go on a shoot, you realize that none of this stuff's spontaneous. That Hell's Kitchen, those people that are eating are all plants. There's nobody going to Hell's Kitchen and saying, I want this, and their chicken's raw and they're all disappointed. No, that's all plants. So when I hear this, that's all I can think of is, okay, this is a setup. If it was a problem, they wouldn't have run the trailer, and they wouldn't have run the show if they ran the show. So yeah, there definitely seems like this was some kind of publicity stunt to me.
Okay, so thank you to Miss Y'all Too Sensitive 48. Confirmed it aired last episode. Thank you for that confirmation. So it goes to show, No Saint, that you're even more correct than you thought, because it aired. So that means, and because we've done work on reality shows, we've been on reality shows. I've been on, I've worked on reality shows. They literally, for some episodes, they have an earpiece in your ear and they're telling you what to say, how to say it, amp it up, pull it back, say this one or that. So it really is puppetry. Like it really, really is. And with that said, Scrappy, who's also on Love and Hip Hop, released a statement, and he said he doesn't know why they fired her. And he don't even, and this is why I believe him, because he was like, I don't even fuck with Erica like that at all, ever. But he was like, it's stupid that they fired her because these people literally set us up. His words, not mine. He said they set us up and they put people that don't play with people that play too much. So they're setting up these scenarios and they've been doing it for years. That is what Scrappy says. So he said it doesn't make sense that they would fire her for that. Now, with that said, Mona Scott Young is not no dummy. Like Lily said, that's a crafty motherfucker, right? So I really do believe, even though she posted handled, I guess that was her, her handle, but it backfired because people in her chat and in the chat, on the blogs are like, you're full of shit. You knew this was going to air. During the editing, there's so many people that have to be on board for the editing and for the final cut. So this is looking quite contrived, right? As reality shows are. There's really nothing real about reality shows. And if we've seen them and we've worked on them, we already know what it is. However, because the majority of people on social media are fucking bored, right? Gets the people going. It gets the people going. Thank you, Dolores. Yeah, Dolores said it aired. So Moxie says, no one told Erica Mena to call someone a monkey. So that's a great segue to my next point in this fiasco. The question of the night. Is monkey a racial slur? Everybody calm down for a minute. Is monkey a racial slur? Now, I'm taking this off of Erica Mena for a minute. Now forget Erica Mena. Forget Erica Mena. Just for a second. Let's deal with the word monkey. Okay? Because I know I've used that word to people that were Puerto Rican. And I've used that word to white people. I think, and you guys are going to disagree, that Brad Pitt looks like a little monkey, the one that goes up here. Now, I know everybody thinks Brad Pitt is fine, but if you look at him long enough, he looks like the little monkey that goes up here. Brad Pitt is white, right? So if I was to say that about Brad Pitt, and I've said it, no one would say it's a racial slur. I have a huge issue with monkey being synonymous automatically with Black people. And I'm not talking about Erica Mena, because I saw the video. I think Erica meant it in a racial way because she did the monkey noises. Did you see that part?
Oh, I didn't see that part. No.
She did that. So that's why I'm not talking about Erica Mena, because I think, and I'm not Erica Mena, I don't know what was in her head. I'm just saying aesthetically, just looking at it, Erica Mena looked like she used it in a racial way. I want to be clear. It looked racial when she used it. Now, she may say, no, I was just calling her that because she looks like that or whatever. I do not know. I'm just saying what it looked like from the outside looking in. It looked racial because she didn't only say that. She did the monkey noises. Okay, but let's not act like we don't all know people that look like fucking animals. They call Jay-Z a camel forever. Okay? They call Jay-Z a camel forever. But for some reason, the trigger with monkey, and I find this more insulting that Black people keep perpetuating it than anybody else, in my opinion. This is my opinion. You don't have to like my opinion. You could rebut, contradict, whatever. Like I said, I prefer you throw it in a super chat. You'll get my attention faster that way. But I have an issue with the headlines. I got it from online, People Magazine, Forbes. This went all the way to Forbes Magazine. Okay, it's all over the place, right? So this isn't local news, all right? Love and Hip Hop Atlanta fires Erica Mena for calling castmate Spice a racial slur. Racial slur. I want to know why Black people have become synonymous with monkey. Who decided that, and who's perpetuating that? Why is that a racial slur? That bothers me. If anything bothers me, that bothers me.
Well, coming up, I can tell you that, and I knew skinheads, Nazis, they often referred to Blacks as monkeys because they thought that Blacks were this link from monkeys to original human beings. And in Africa, many of the Africans, the native Africans, looks to, according to them, structurally, facially, they have similar features to that of apes or orangutans and so on. So that's where my understanding of it comes from. Now, is it used as widely as the N-word? No, it isn't. Can you call, like you say, Brad Pitt a monkey? Yeah, you can. But it hits different if you call Jonathan Majors a monkey. Let's just call it what it is. You know, he has some very strong...
I'm glad you said that. It hits different. I'm glad you said that, because that's a feeling. That's a feeling. That's an emotion. That's a trigger. Now, I was not asking. I was not asking the
origins.
I was not asking the origins. I know where it comes from. I know white people call Black people monkey all the time. All the time. So I wasn't asking for the origins. I'm not ignorant in that department. Trust me. And you know that. You know that about me. What I'm talking about is in 2023, the perpetuation of it. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. No. The automatic, oh, you called me a monkey, so it's racial. No, here we have, I'm glad you brought this up. Misty Unicorn. Misty Unicorn said, as a Latina raised in a family from Mexico, we call each other changos all the time. This is correct. Really? If you look at, yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people got to get off the block. You know, I've heard it in my family. Also, 50 Cent, Gorilla Unit, G Unit, The Rock. Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Silverback. You know what I mean? He calls himself a Silverback. I don't understand why it's racial automatic. I think it's fucking insulting. Like if I was a black person and I hear the word, I'm like, well, you ain't talking about me, or you're not calling me that because I'm black. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't automatically marry the two. I think it's giving. Sorry, I think it's giving white people too much fucking power. Like who's
Okay,
perpetuating it?
so that's exactly what the point I was about to make, right? So being an openly trans person, right? Of course, I get called everything but my name, right? And that's been my entire life, even like way before the transition. So I had to make that same decision at one point. I was like, hold the fuck up. I don't know these hoes. Like, why am I giving people power with words like names and shit? Like it's like money. It's like words are like money, or words are like items, right? It only has the worth that you give it. That you give it. So, for instance, you can give me a Prada bag and I won't think shit of it. It might not be worth shit to me because I don't even wear purses, right? I mean, I do. It means something to me. You can give me a Prada bag. But just saying, like, yeah. Hypothetically, right? For someone who doesn't care, it means nothing to them. It's the same thing with words. For me, those words mean shit to me. I don't give a fuck when nobody calls me because I've been called everything in my life. And I had to realize, like, hold up. I'm giving them the fuel every time I react and respond and fight over words. So my new motto became years ago: just don't touch me and don't make me feel threatened. Everything else, child, you're going to talk all day anyway. Ain't shit I can say. Oh, the other thing is, and the hypocrisy of this is, they've called each other on the show the N-word the entire show since its inception. But this one word, because that is totally historically racial to everybody, right? So then this is the word. This is the word that does it for you.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up, Lily, because to me it's faux outrage. To me, it's faux outrage. And there are some words that are very racist, like the K word for Jewish people, the S word for Puerto Ricans, the N word for Black people. Those, to me, that's a racial slur. That's a racial slur to me. The K word for the Jewish people, the S word for the Puerto Rican people, the N word with the ER, with the hard ER at the end for Black people. Those are blatant racial words. I don't understand why the word monkey is automatically, oh, it's racial. Maybe you look like a monkey. YouTube press, thank you for that comment. What about Ron Perlman? Ron Perlman looks like a fucking monkey. Are we going to lie?
Actually, looks like an orangutan.
Are we going to lie? Are we going to lie that Ron Perlman doesn't look like a monkey?
Most humans look like a fucking animal, like dead ass. Most of us do.
My dad reminds me of a gorilla. My dad, he's very huge. He's brown skinned. He's brooding, right? So if someone were to ask me, what animal does this person? That's what Snoop Dogg looks like, a Doberman Pinscher.
He does. Every time I see him, like, he looks like a Doberman. Like,
it's like a fucking Doberman picture. So again, aside from Erica Mena, because I'm telling you, I saw the video. I think she meant it in a racial way. I could be wrong. She could be like, no, that's not how I meant it. What blew my mind was the monkey noises. I was like, okay, all right, this is something different. Not only that, but Spice, I'm gonna keep it 100. Listen, this is the block. We're gonna keep it 100. We're gonna keep it 150% on tonight. Spice does not look like a monkey. But I'm sorry, if she did, I would be like, oh, that's why she said that, because she resembles one. But Spice does not look like a monkey to me. So it makes me think that Erica Mena did mean it in a racist way. Just my opinion of what I saw.
Well, you remember the whole Roseanne situation? And she said that about that lady, but she thought the lady was white, so she thought it was okay to say that this particular human looked like a monkey, but she didn't.
Oh, from Planet of the No,
The lady did.
she compared her to the planet. She looked like the
That's
lady
what I'm
from
saying.
she
That's what
looked
I'm
like
saying.
her.
And so Roseanne, in her defense, and she had the best defense ever. I thought the bitch was white.
Well, she does look white.
She does look white, and she does look like a monkey. So
She
Roseanne just
does.
said, "Okay, I can go ahead and say what I gotta say." But that shit was funny though. I mean, I have a
But
fucked up sense of humor, so whatever.
Ice Spice.
but
Ice Spice is lighter than me. A meme went viral of her next to a little white monkey. And it
I still
looked
think she looks
like
like
her.
it look like she look like she's down. I'm sorry, she looked like she got downs.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
y'all didn't see, y'all didn't see a little downs baby with a skirt on. Anyway, um, I understand the perspectives that's being made here. However, due to the racial component is stronger when you're dealing with blacks. It's more of a trigger for blacks when you call them a monkey, as opposed if you call the white person a monkey, and they could damn well look like a monkey, like Ron Perlman.
Mhm,
You could say Ron
mhm.
Perlman looks like a monkey, and you pretty much could be on point. But you could
He
say
does.
fucking, you know what I mean? But you could say Terrence Howard looks like a monkey, and he kind of doesn't. He doesn't, but it's still going to stick harder because he's a black man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
but
I
he
understand what
doesn't.
you're saying. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, too, something to consider. And I'm going way out in the weeds here. The word monkey, is it because the N word, to some degree, not even to some degree, black people decided to grab it, use it as a term of endearment, I guess, empower themselves with it, whatever you want to call it. They didn't necessarily get around to doing that with the word monkey, because I guess it still
Well,
circles around.
unless you're 50 Cent. Unless you're 50 Cent or Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Right.
Unless you're
Or
50
But
some,
Cent.
or some.
usually we don't go around saying, "Yo, what's going on, my gorilla?" You know what I mean, and so on and so forth.
Italians
But
do.
but in that context, that's somewhat of a good point, because in that context, what are they using? What are they using? They're not using a monkey. They're using a silverback gorilla. They're using something of power, of strength, of intimidation. So that works in that situation. You know what I
So
mean?
so so okay, so here's the problem with that works in that situation, right? Because now
Okay.
the
I didn't say it
primate,
works in that situation, but that's why they use it most likely in that
okay, but
situation.
okay, but it still goes with what I'm about to say.
Okay, well
Then
then,
you
guys.
want okay, so then you want, I'm saying you in general, whoever is taking offense to that,
Right, right,
you
right, right,
want,
right.
then it's no different than the LGBTQ. Call me this, call me that, call me this, call me that. When I say to call me that, and don't call me that when I don't want you to
No,
call me
that's
that, but call
not.
me that on Tuesday. Wait. Let me land the
Go
plane.
ahead, go
Call me
ahead,
that
go
on.
ahead.
Let me call me that on Tuesday, but not Wednesday. And call me that if I'm in this situation, but not in that situation. I want this pronoun and that pronoun, but not on Saturdays. Wait a minute, but I'm doing this and then, but wait, this way I'm a they, a them, a she, a he, a pronoun. I'm a non-binary. I'm this and that on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and that's the same thing that people complain about when it comes to the 2S LGBTQIA plus community. So a G unit, right? They could and what you call it? 50 Cent didn't say silverback; it was gorilla unit, and those are gorillas and silverbacks are different. Okay, The Rock used the
Yes.
silverback, strong, powerful, whatever. 50 Cent called his
Mm-hmm.
whole crew gorillas, G unit. It was a G unit. Okay, so yeah, we all gorillas because we're strong. But when a white person, again, this is why I fucking always say it goes back to giving the power to the white people. So when white
No
people
one
Mm-hmm.
wants
call
to
you
hear
gorilla,
that.
when white people call you gorilla, it's an injury. It's injurious. It's God, you call me gorilla, it means weak. But if a black person calls another black person a gorilla, then it means strength. Make up your fucking mind. Are y'all weak or are y'all strong? Because we don't know. All right? Are you weak or are you strong? You're strong on this day when you're calling yourself a gorilla and calling your group gorilla. But one man in a Walmart, one fucking redneck in a Walmart can call you a gorilla and you want to shut down in March. Which is it? These are real questions. These are real questions.
That actually happened though.
I want an answer.
Well, somebody might have an answer. Street TV may have an answer because they're looking for a link. So Street TV, maybe you can come up here and help us answer this because, yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I do and I don't. Maybe because I pulled away from giving motherfuckers my power for so long ago that I see it in that way. I just don't give people my fucking power. It's just that simple. Because every time someone calls you something and they get a rise out of you, you have literally handed over your power to that person. And I don't think about white people that much to give them my damn power. I don't think about homophobes that much to give them my power. I don't care. Like, it's not that damn deep. Just don't touch me.
I mean, and then I get what Haran is saying. It's just it's more if it's more of an it's different. And long as people realize that in that difference there is a huge problem that's not being addressed. In that difference, you know why? Because it allows you to absolve yourselves from accountability. It's no different than if one white cop kills one black unarmed human being, then everybody loses their minds. But in New York City, in the Bronx, in Chicago, in Detroit, in New Orleans, black people can kill black people with abandon. With abandon. But it's only worldwide global news when that white cop kills that one black person. Right now, I know the retort. Yeah, but cops are supposed to uphold the law. There's to uphold the law. Well, then, I'm sorry. Where was the protest when those 5 black cops beat that unarmed black man to death? Where was the protest? If it's about, no, the cops are supposed to uphold the law. That's why we get mad. If that is the case, where was the outrage, the uproar, and burning the town down when those 5 black police officers, I believe it was 5 or 6, beat that unarmed black man to death, recorded it, laughed at it? Where was the outrage? The math
it's selective. It's selective. It's selective.
Let's look what Curtis Jones said. He says black people kill 180 something Asians in New York every year. Does anybody have any numbers on that? We got any data on that?
Shit, I didn't know about.
I don't have data on that. I don't know anything about that. But I do know that we only like violence against us when it's us doing it.
All right. So, listen. My dad called me a little monkey when I was a kid. It's not the same, right? And when I thought about when Howard Cosell got fired for saying, "Look at the little monkey run," I think he literally, when I think back on it, he's from that generation. He's from that.
What Mike?
Look at the monkey go.
Yeah, I really think. Looking back on it, that's the kind of spirit he was going for. I don't believe he was doing that in a race, but he paid the price because my dad used to call me a little monkey when I would be running crazy, doing stuff like that. And you got to look at the history of Howard Cosell. Howard Cosell wasn't some big racist, listen. I mean, you can think that was racial. It may have been. I just think it might not have been. But okay, let's go to something else. One person can call you that. It's not the same. You can call me a monkey all day. I'm a primate, and I'm the first to admit it. The sooner we realize that we're primates, we're gonna look like monkeys. We are. We have features. My ears look like a chimpanzee's ear. It's bulletproof. We are primates, so let's get that through, okay? But the racial component is there. And it is going to hurt a black person more than it hurts a white person. And I understand you saying one white person calling me that I'm not giving the power. But how about a stadium full of white people throwing bananas at you when you're playing soccer in Europe and making monkey sounds? I think it's going to bother most people. You've got a freaking stadium doing monkey sounds and throwing bananas. I think that'll bother just about anyone.
Okay, but that is racial. That's blatantly racial.
And that's attacking someone physically.
And I also said I think the way Erica Mena used it was racial. I said that. Had she not done those monkey sounds, I probably would have thought different. But I was this is a little more than calling somebody a monkey because they look like a monkey physically.
Yeah,
that was a bit strange to me.
Like you're physically throwing things at a person.
It's just a banana out that bag, out that goddamn purse. If she had one, she'd have pulled it out. and threw it at her.
But in the society we have, I understand, and I think Lily and Jen, the way you talk about handling it is probably the best way to take the power away from that word, but not everybody's there yet. And so when a white person calls a black person a monkey or an ape, it is going to rip a scab off because there is a history.
Because they're told to be offended by it, right? No, seriously, if you're told, you have to be told to be offended by a lot of things. Like if I'm a kid and I'm watching the Animal Planet, right, and I see some cats and some dogs and some whales and some monkeys and right, and I'm like, oh, that monkey's cute, right, because I think monkeys are cute. And then someone calls me a monkey and I go outside, I'm like, thanks, until I come home and then I'm told, oh no, and the other kid could have just thought monkeys was cute too. You get what I'm saying? So
I get what you're saying.
I get told to be offended by.
No, I get what you're saying, but then we can go into like, okay, let's just say black people were got something out of slavery, like they're trying to do in Florida, and they were, let's take the history out of everything. You can't do that. You got to tell the history. But
yeah, but there's a way to do it. It's a perspective, right? So for me, that's my child coming home. Oh, the kid called me a monkey, blah blah blah. I'll explain the full thing, but I'll also explain, don't give motherfuckers your power. Okay, are you a monkey?
And, and I would say you could say that person really has the problem and not you. I understand that. I do understand that, but I just don't think everybody's there yet, obviously.
I just need to also say one thing real quick. If I had been on a network and a well-known network or well-known enough, and I said kike, and I was referring to Jewish people, there's consequences attached to that, man.
Uh-oh, Jen.
Here come the Jewish people.
Do we need a Jewish bell?
Here come the Jewish people.
We might need a Jewish bell.
We need a Jewish bell. If you ever want Jewish people to show up to anything, talk about black people.
I had to, because they were waiting outside. So I was like, let me go get the door. And I said, kike, and they'll be. Guess what? They most likely own the fucking network I'm fucking on anyway. So yeah, there'll be consequences attached to it. And
but you can't. Okay, but all right, but you can't compare yourselves to Jewish people. You're not Jewish. You don't move like Jewish people. You don't walk and talk like Jewish people.
Kind of fucking power.
Right. You don't collab like Jewish. No, you have power. You have power, but you just want to do other things.
Power. Their collective power.
You have power.
I have power. Yes. But I don't have.
No, you have collective power, because every black person in America could stop buying. Listen to me. Okay. Sorry, I'm a field Negro. Okay. I'll die for freedom. Every black person in America could stop watching football for good. Every black person in America could stop buying albums, streaming hip hop for good. They could do it. Every black person in America can do a walkout Monday morning at their jobs. Every black person in America cannot take a bus, a subway, a plane for a week. You do have that. You have the power. Black people in this country, even at 13, 14, 15%, have the power to cripple the fucking economy. You have the power. So that's different. That's different from I don't have the power and I'm not going to use my power. That's different.
Absolutely. But there was only there you go. There's only one side of the fence that actually got shit popping and used their power. Ain't no motherfucking black people shutting down streaming. Black people stopping. They're not stopping watching the NFL. Niggas can't even stop watching Power for 5 fucking days. Okay. So
all right. So then that's the issue.
It's what it is. I'm dealing with what it is.
Not power.
Or loving hip hop.
That shit you just said right there, 100%. But that shit ain't gonna happen.
Exactly. So which means, see, when I look at things like that, I look at, and I'm talking just on an individual level or on a group level. When I see things like what you just said, I see people who are just more attached to the problem than the solution. Because sometimes the problem really makes you feel alive. It's the anger that comes from the problem, the emotions that come from the problem make you feel alive. And like No Say said, some people are just not there. They'd rather be in the problem because that's the only thing that makes them feel alive is chaos and anger and oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, you said this to me. But then they'll walk into, like somebody said in the chat, they'll walk into the bodega or the corner store and they'll use a racial slur to the Asian person standing behind the counter.
Absolutely.
Um, right. So it's like I totally don't take people seriously anymore with
At
their
all.
damn gripes. I
Now,
At
here,
all.
now
At
here it
all.
is. Now
anymore.
you see what Adam Hearn. See what Adam
I
Hearn
did.
said.
Hold on. I did drop the link. Y'all was screaming for the link. I dropped the link. You guys can come up here and contradict, rebut, argue the points that we're making. If you want to hide behind the avatar, that is great, but you must pay. Throw some chips into a super chat if you want to hide behind your avatar, okay? If you want to come up for free, you got to show your face. I dropped the link. Y'all were yelling for it. I'll drop it again. I'll bring up what Adam Hearn said. Hold on. There goes the link again. Adam Hearn said what? Lily's on her way to the red pill?
We're about to get Jen's channel down by what I said about Jews. Now you see the fact that you said that because you know there's power and consequence behind that fucking word. You don't think that way when it comes to monkeys. When someone says monkeys or niggas and
No,
shit like that. You don't.
it's gonna take more than that. It's gonna take more than that. You know,
Anyway.
So, also someone said in the chat, it's guerrilla unit, not guerrilla unit. In other words, guerrilla unit like a military. It's not. It wasn't guerrilla like military. It was guerrilla like the animal. Google it.
Right, it was. I remember those days. I'm
we
like,
all remember. We all remember. We all got our boyfriends the G Unit
oh,
tank
I was
top
just
or
about to
whatever
say.
like this. Like we remember it clearly. Okay,
That's why I
we just
remember it.
How many people like on some real shit? Like how many of y'all in the chat used to
Hey, the feds
like
are.
read?
Listen, I ain't got no beef with the feds. Shut your mouth, Adam Hearn.
How many of y'all used to like read out loud real slow with your two fingers back in school? Like, because a lot of y'all real fucking slow.
I was like, who did that? Who said that? Who did that? Who did that?
I don't know what dudes who used to read like that.
So look, with everything that we're talking about, in my opinion, like it was funny to me to see Mona Scott sitting on, playing playing the holier than thou. We have morals over here. Love and hip hop is hot garbage. It was built on hot garbage. It runs on hot garbage. Those people tear each other limb from limb. Like Lily said, they throw the word nigga around, but nigga is cool if you got an A at the end of it. It's not the N word. It's a term of endearment, even though they use it in the most violent way towards each other. Okay, on that show. So Spice, the character, this woman. Again, I stopped watching a long time ago, so I don't really know a lot about her. But from what I was reading and all the comments on the blogs, they were saying that she's a tyrant herself. And during that argument, what set Erica off was she said, that's why your son hates you. So now we bringing up the kids, right? So Spice, in my opinion, threw the first blow. Now let's get back to Erica, Mena, and Spice. She threw the first blow. That was a low blow. That's why your son hates you. She repeated that a couple of times. And then Erica went off. And you guys know how I feel about, you know what you're going to do. You have a plan. You never know what the other person is going to do with their plan, right? And then you can't cry foul after they retaliate, right? You can't slap somebody in the face and they put a bazooka on their shoulder and blow your soul away. You're like, that was too much. You cannot, because you don't know what the other person has been through, what they're going through, what their PTSD is, what their experiences are. You just don't know. That is their way to retaliate. So, in Erica's case with Spice, maybe that was a real low blow. And Erica said, no, I'm going to hit you with a low blow. What people do in arguments is like, I'm going to hit you where it hurts. Then the other person reciprocates and said, well, I'm going to hit you where it hurts. And I know calling you a monkey would hurt, right? Because of the racial history of it. So in my opinion, I don't know, ain't no rules
Look,
in love and hip hop and war. That's how I see it.
look,
Do I
man.
think she used it racially? Yes. Do I think it was the platform to do it? Yes, because it's love and hip hop. It's love and hip hop.
Look, man, it's fair game if you bringing kids into the goddamn mix.
A lot of people
That's how
said
I
that.
see it.
A lot of people said that.
If I'm going back and forth with somebody, initially I'm not going to talk about anybody's children. I'm gonna
Correct.
concentrate on that person. But if you talk about my
Correct.
motherfucking kids, now the gloves is off. Now we going, and however this ends, just remember you wanted this because
Right.
you put my kid into this situation. Just keep it
Right.
between people, man. You know what I mean? But
Right.
people just want to talk about people kids. They want to bring people families
Yeah.
in the situation. And it happens, man. She was like, "Fuck you, you monkey ass motherfucker."
Right.
I'm with you on that. With that children thing, I've seen my own mother just morph into the Hulk when someone says anything. Look, they can look like they about to motherfucker say something with her. So that's a yeah. You don't see the thing is, and to your credit, like to your point, you don't piss somebody off and then tell them how mad to get. And that's exactly what was going on here. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
no, you don't get to do it. And she also, like, it was just a bunch of back and forth, but she did throw the first verbal blow because then
Right.
Erica came back and said, I wish you would have died or you should have died because she was on her deathbed and all that other stuff.
Right.
But by that time, we're in the middle of a fight, so all is fair in love and war.
Yeah, and all those women, and the guys, but I would see the women. The women I think are worse than the men.
Yeah.
All those women have forked tongues on that show. All of them. I've heard the wildest shit go on those shows. I mean, drinks fly, fists fly. It really is like the WWE, and this is why I laugh at Mona Scott, coming in with the savior, like, oh, I handled it. Well, did you, or are you going to use it over and over and over again to promote the show? Come on, Mona. Come on, give me that. I feel like you got to do the Robert De Niro face. Give me that much. You were there. Come
See,
on.
Right.
I mean, women are vicious, man. I mean, vicious, man.
Yes.
See, men were different with each other because men, we skirt the line because somebody might really die. Somebody might really die. You go ahead and you talk about another man's family. That's an act of war, and it can
Right.
lead to something really, really fucking big. You know what I mean?
Right.
So men, in many ways, we try to keep it simple. We got, we try whatever homie and blah, blah, blah. We just keep it pushing. Women, man. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know my mouth is nothing. Nothing nice. Oh God, I remember sometimes I'll just get flashbacks of things that I've said in the middle of it. I'm like, did I really say that? Oh, because I'm trying to hurt you.
Yeah, absolutely. Should I
That's
know?
why I don't apologize. I don't
got a fucking
apologize for
forked
shit.
tongue.
Yeah, I don't apologize for shit when it comes to my mouth because I meant it.
Right.
I meant it.
And I've seen, with that said, I've seen, Love and Hip Hop is not, the women on that show are not exactly, the most stellar example for communicators and things like that. Those women go at each other viciously all the time. So it's funny that anybody would be insulted by anything that goes on there. If you don't want to hear women talk like that, if you don't want to hear women say racial shit like that back and forth, then go watch something else. There's a lot of others. Go watch Insecure on HBO. Go watch Atlanta. Go watch. But if you're tuning into Love and Hip Hop, and it's best when there's drama going, right? Because if Erica Mena and Spice were getting along and collaborating and doing music and hanging out and raising their children, I don't know if Spice has children, but whatever, you know what I mean? You guys wouldn't watch. You guys wouldn't watch. There'd be nothing to watch.
Speaking of which, I wonder what the ratio is when you collectively look at black shows on television now, as opposed to like in the 90s. What's the ratio of us being depicted as degenerates versus just like a regular life story that happens to have a majority black cast? I'm like pretty sure that it's tipped on the degenerate side like a lot. And typically that comes from supply and demand. So, I would be curious to know, what that would be, but I doubt anyone has the numbers, but.
Yeah, I mean, but a guess, if I had to guess, there's so many networks that have these reality shows on, I would think the majority are degenerative, the majority.
Are we
because
going to use the
that's
magic 90%?
90%. 90%, Lily.
Gotta, man.
90
Yo,
Gotta
that's
be
the
90%.
90.
go-to. That's the go-to, man.
It's
Even
90%.
politicians throw it around.
90%.
I would listen. So yeah, if you're talking about the 90s when there wasn't near as many channels as there are today, not just that, but the networks find out really quick when you try to do something that's worth anything, people don't want it. The Learning Channel was supposed to be the Learning Channel. They don't teach anything anymore. They have crap TV on there. Discovery, most of their best shows are crap shows. Oprah, own network, is not that great unless you put some kind of crap on there. I mean, there are good programs. I did see a show that's coming on that, oh man, I wish I could remember the name of it. I might have to check it out, but it has some positive vibes. It's a black guy, he's a detective. I guess it's brand new because I've never seen it before. But in general, like Jerry Springer, like that was garbage, but it went on for how many years? Because that's what people want. People want the bullshit.
You're right. So is that American thing? Must be an American thing for the most part.
Listen.
Well, he was all around the world with that shit in different languages.
I tell them, young people who don't know, Jerry Springer, you guys remember this shit. Jerry Springer used to be a respectable show.
It was.
It's an American show, though. It's not. It's not. I mean? I don't think I'm gonna go to Istanbul and they're gonna be like, guess what we watch every day? Like, it's an American show. Jerry Springer's an American show.
And Maury. Maury was respectable too.
Yeah, they were respectable shows. And the thing about it was that, I mean, the shit was along the lines of like Donahue and shit like that. Y'all remember that shit? You know what I mean? And I remember when Khalid came up there and just, man.
I remember.
Anyway,
that.
I love Donahue. Love Donahue.
Anyway.
Donahue always handled things well, though.
Whatchamacallit? One day on Jerry Springer, I believe it was a racist topic. It was a topic about race. And somebody said some shit, and the other side said some shit, and shit popped off. And that
was Geraldo.
No. I don't think it was Geraldo. Well, it probably was Geraldo.
No, it happened on more than one show. It happened with the KKK. That happened on more than one show.
That was big in the 90s. They used to love doing that in the 90s.
Yeah.
Something popped off, and the producers realized that when that popped off, there was an uptick. There was a reaction. It was like, oh shit, we got something here. And before that, the show was almost on its way out. So they was like, you know what? Let's keep doing this shit. And they kept doing it. And if you notice, the guests got more white trash here and Mountain Dewy and all that other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just turned into a fucking circus.
So yeah, you had Donahue's respectful. Yes, kind of funny is Oprah started off trashy, and then when she made her money, got respectful. If you look back, Oprah was on borderline, and then she got her money, and then she became respectful. And then Ricky Lake started kicking everybody's butt, and that's when Jerry, like you said, Jerry Springer, they were all looking like, well, look what Ricky Lake's doing to get the 20-year-olds in there.
Let's start Jenny Jones.
Yeah, and Jenny Jones, yeah.
When that guy got killed, remember somebody got killed behind the Jenny Jones mess.
Yeah,
because somebody came out of the closet or something.
It was secret. It was secret crushes, and this man brought on his secret crush, and the guy was straight, and the guy that was crushing on him was gay. And unfortunately for the gay man, they lived in the same building complex, so the guy felt like, now my reputation, my life is ruined. I'm on TV and this gay guy likes me, and he ended up shooting him.
Is there someone backstage? Is there someone backstage? It says somebody backstage. I don't know. People be saying anything now. You never know.
Hello. Thank you, YouTube Press, for the super chat. Gary Busey, pet judge. What is that? Gary Busey, pet judge. I don't know what that means, YouTube Press.
I don't know, but shout out to YouTube Press. Why is there an echo?
I think it's Hi, Tiny. We have an echo.
Hallelujah. What you mean? Wow, hold on, let me get my headphones.
Really? Shout out to YouTube Press for finding Ronald McDonald's baby picture. I like it.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
get your
get your
headphones.
headphones. Yeah, cause I got something to say.
Ah,
Like,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
yeah,
Peace
I
and
heard
black
y'all
okay,
talking
we
power.
about
ready.
Erica Mena, and I think that Erica Mena can never be apart from that atmosphere because she basically she been on air for so long fighting with black people, and her kids are black. Okay, and I think that it's crazy that they would do that to her,
Mm,
and she basically made their show, and they done plenty more worse stuff than that. So I think that I don't know. All in all, maybe she don't want to do another ritual for them or something. Cause the last ritual I seen, she was full in blood. Okay, sitting behind. There was a laptop. She looked like she was spaced out, like she was in a trance, and she had blood all over her face. I was like, "What the hell is this?" You know the times and the size we living in. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be like, "Oh hell no! Why is she looking like the Kardashians playing with blood? She's suspect. I don't know." But that's how I took that. But she is definitely she a monkey too, so she can't run from that.
So I got a question. Is those are those new teeth part of the ritual? Because I suspect they are.
she
I
got no
think
teeth.
I think
You have
so.
them teeth. Oh my good. I'm like,
It's
can you
something
close your
about those
mouth?
teeth, yo. And you know what? Nicki Minaj got Cardi B got It's something about them cheekbones and them damn teeth. You right. You right. I don't know
So,
what the hell
so
is
it's
going on.
it's interesting that you bring up her children because I saw people saying in some of the comments on the blogs they were saying that Safari, which is her second baby's father, was saying that, oh yeah, I remember Safari said something about her being racial, and I'm like, yeah, and he gave her two kids.
Yeah,
Like he gave her two kids, so obviously whatever he thought was racist wasn't racist enough because he had not one but two children with her. So if he liked it, I love it, right?
hey, but y'all know the paper bag rule. Come on now, stop playing. Why y'all always acting brand new to the paper bag rule? Come on now.
Hmm.
Ain't nothing different, man. They look at us it's the same, man. They just like, yeah, this the offspring. See, we got all flavors. We
Hmm.
got all
Hmm.
flavors
Hmm.
of this type of Geno, that Eve gene running around and shit. They can't take it, you know what I'm saying? As far as being a spending power, you damn right about that shit. Who don't we motherfucking make rich?
Hmm.
Okay? I'm sick of it. Can we get our own?
Me.
You know what? We don't ever want to support each other. We
Hmm.
don't
Listen,
want
I'll
to
throw my
support each
cash
other.
app out there. Nobody made me rich yet.
Listen, bro, you need to you need to do some treats and shit. You need to be throwing out them treats and shit. Stop playing. You know what I'm saying? You on there, you need to be doing special stuff. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all walking around in y'all underwears and that damn robot doll and stuff like that. What the hell y'all was doing out there in Las
Not
Vegas?
the in
And then,
Vegas.
and then Lily a whole freak. You can't tell Lily nothing. She got 1,000 shoes. Come on now, Lily. What you was doing in Las Vegas?
Lily stepped away. So going back to Erica, I do agree that she shouldn't have been fired only because that's the environment. So in my opinion, she's playing the role that they want her to play. I don't think that the insult was too far. I think it was very much love and hip hop. It's love and hip hop. Do I think it was racial? Yeah, I think it was racial. But it goes along with the environment and the roles that they all play on Love and Hip Hop. I saw other people saying that they let Spice get away with murder on that show. Again, I don't watch the show, so I don't know what the other girl, the one in the blue wig, does. I don't know. But a lot of people were saying that they also let her get away with murder and saying certain things. So I predict that Erica will be back.
I think she about to get her own show. This could
It
have
would
been a
it would make the most sense.
Oh.
And here's the thing that you know canceling isn't what canceling used to be, right? Erica Mena still has millions of followers. Erica Mena could put her own
right.
show on YouTube, and people will watch it because she's off the chain. I do think that she's a huge part of that show. If she is permanently off the show, then who else is going to be, you know what I mean, there's not going to be a racial component, right? Because if they call each other nigga and everybody's black, or they call each other monkey and everybody's black, it's not a big deal. So you need that Latina in there, right, to say the derogatory things so it can go viral, right? Because if Erica would have been black, no one would care right now, but she's Latina, so it's a big deal. So I think it would be a mistake to not bring her on. I think they're gonna go the whole apology route, and she's gonna be right back because Mona's about her money. Mona's about her
She
bag.
But you know damn well in Puerto if she go to Puerto Rico with this shit, the first thing they approach her like, Mira negra, ¿cómo está?
Yep,
Mira negra. They don't call Erica Mena nothing but negra in Puerto Rico. ¿Cómo
correct.
está negra, negrita? What's
Hmm.
up?
well,
What's
we got
poppin'?
well, to your point, you got a whole girl named Amara La Negra on the
Mm.
show,
Yeah.
right? And also, I did hear what you say about me being a big old freak. I mean, I can't say what's this. Is it true? God damn it,
Look at
she got my number. She got my number. But look, right? It's not me about me being a freak tonight. So what it is, right? Yes, I do see that Spice has gotten away with a lot over the years, but just playing devil's advocate with that, if they didn't let her get away with it, you know what people will be hollering: colorism.
But Spice is
Oh, of
different. Spice
course.
be walking around with her white mama. She got her white mama wearing bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair, and she be
Oh,
out there with a friendly bad attitude, all that shit,
Who she
posing.
has a white boyfriend?
No, a white mama. She said if you ever say anything about her mama, she'll fight you.
who
Oh, I don't know how.
does?
What
Yeah, I
Spice?
think I remember a clip of that.
Spice mama dead ass white. She white with green eyes. She dressed like she from the hood. She be like, spending that money in the hood.
Yeah, didn't she
Well,
fight on TV or something over that?
I think so, but she said she'd be somebody up for her mama. But see, Spice, I don't know about Spice. Spice look like she came from the underground tunnel and shit. You know what I'm saying? I just think she's weird. She's weird. They all weird and shit to me. You know Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You never know where
Hmm.
these folks come from. Look at Obama. Damn, y'all. Look at Obama,
What? Where are we going? Where are we going?
I don't
What's
know. I
happening?
don't know. I don't
What's
know.
happening?
I think I need my
y'all.
passport.
Hello, wait, hold on. I don't understand about Obama, but yo, I told y'all 10 years ago y'all was trying to get my videos deleted. She was smashing homeboy with no teeth, right? Then I tell you that y'all mad at me. Y'all mad at me, and then Obama was doing his thing. And then I told y'all about Obama wife, right? She crazy too. And them hot dogs. Listen, I'm just saying though. I'm just being realistic about shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do with the black community. So stop confusing us. We divide the weeds and the tares. All right? All the good Negroes over here. All the fucked up
Okay.
Negroes over there. Get your hoe
All
asses.
right, time out. We're gonna keep it on Erica Mena Spice for this stream. We're gonna keep it
Okay, all
on
right.
that. We're gonna keep it on
But
them
we
too.
gotta divide. We gotta divide. We gotta let them know that Erica Bennett is nasty. Y'all saying. Like she's just straight nasty, y'all. Y'all can't be feeling sorry for none of these pigs online. Don't be emotional. Okay? Cause at the end of the day, they don't pay none of our bills, bruh. See what I'm saying? And I don't think that I think what we should be looking at is other shit that's going on. But I don't know, but girl, Jen, you know you be saying some funny ass shit too. She says she a filth. Yo, she be running. She be running. I'm trying to tell y'all be thinking this shit
Social
is
Candy
easy. You know what
Queen.
I'm saying? It's not a game. Y'all be thinking this shit is easy. Look, they want us to fight each other. Cause I'm telling you, our energy is crazy. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
It's just like black and brown bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Cause we chaos. We don't give no fucks.
All
Get it?
right, Tiny, mute your mic until you speak again because there's a lot of background noise. I'm getting a lot of
All right.
background noise. Thank you. Woo. Okay, so passing the mic. The future of love and hip hop, because we don't got a lot of time left anyway. The future of love and hip hop. Do you think that Erica will be back?
Absolutely. This is a publicity stunt. This is contract negotiation. Jen, this is Hollywood. You know what it is.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's all it is. This girl ain't
Yeah.
going nowhere. She's too much of a cash cow.
I
For
think
the
that
brand,
mhm.
for the love and hip hop brand for right now, I think a spinoff for her it would go real good.
I think I honestly think she's great for the love and hip hop brand. She is
Mhm.
love and hip hop. That is what goes on. That's the real. Also,
She shows up to work. She shows up to work.
yeah,
Hmm.
great example. I'll say this: if no one else will take her, Zeus Network, Lamo Plummer over there, he will gladly take Erica Mena, gladly, and put her on
Our
his
own show
network.
on Zeus. That would be
Yeah,
popping. Our own show on Zeus would be
absolutely,
crazy. We'd go crazy.
And you already
absolutely.
know. You already know. And she fits in perfectly with that. You know, they got the Jocelyn from Love and Hip Hop, and then they got Krishan and Blueface and the whole family. I didn't know the whole
Yeah,
family had a show.
yeah.
Did you?
I think Zeus Network is already looking like, oh, so she ain't gonna be over there for a season. We got room for you over here.
Right.
We got
Right.
room for you over here. And the thing is, she can go on the Zeus network and call anybody monkey, gorilla. On the Zeus network, she really can do anything and say anything she wants because it's a streaming network. It's not like on VH1 or MTV. Do people still watch MTV? Does it still exist? I don't
I
even know
think
if
white people
MTV still.
just watch that. I think only white people, young
Okay.
white people. Yeah. I think
Okay.
that's
So
the demographic.
yeah. So it's not a BT, it's not a VH1. She could go on over to Zeus and say and do whatever the hell she wants to do, which would be smart on her part. She'll get a check. Krishan Rock is making nice money on Zeus. Very nice money on Zeus. And Erica Mena has a bigger following. She's also part of the culture. Her first baby daddy is part of the Terror Squad. Her second baby daddy is Safari. So she has storylines for days. She originated with the Kardashians. She really does have storylines for days. A lot of people don't even know that's where Erica first, appeared on the fucking Kardashians. She was on the
Hmm.
Kardashians. She used to work at the store. What was it called, Lily? The store?
Dash.
That she used to work at that. So she started there and then she got fired from the store, I believe. She got fired from the store. So she has storylines for days. If I was Zeus, I would have picked her up. I'd have been like, come on over to Death Row.
Right.
Come
And
on over to
to
Death Row.
Daryl's point, Daryl Allen says MTV, VH1, and BET are all under Viacom. That's true, but she was only fired from that particular show. And once she's fired and the contract is null and void, then she's a free agent. She can go to another show on VH1, which I doubt it because that's the trashiest show on VH1.
Right.
Um, yeah. So, and then BET does light trash, light trash.
They do
Um,
light. Trash light.
yeah. So I don't think that she'll be on BET, but you can't put it past because they did bring Jocelyn. They did, so she could
Yeah.
be on the next season of College Hill.
Yeah.
Okay,
And Jocelyn has said shit like that too. She's said like
Jocelyn
that. Yeah.
is
She's
no. Jocelyn is a tyrant.
hmm
Jocelyn fights. Jocelyn has beat up the whole like several times. She just did it again like a few months ago. She beats up entire rooms. She beat up
yeah.
everybody. Like she just attacks like a wild animal.
Yeah.
So and still always is getting work and booked and rewarded for her behavior. So
Yeah. So Mona Scott, the statement that she released says the Love and Hip Hop franchise has never shied away from hard conversations in our community. Working hand in hand with our partners, viewers will see the impact of Erica Mena's remarks play out in the final 3 episodes of the season. Effective immediately, she will not appear in the next season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So they are sure to play those 3 episodes so everyone
and
can
plug
see it
them
and
and
plug
plug
them
them.
and promote them.
Girl,
I love,
bye.
I love the game, man. I love our business, man. I just love show business, man. I just love this shit, man. Because you're gonna
Look,
say that with a whole straight fucking face.
long as they prepare it for me. Long as they prepare it for my arrival. Like, are
Oh,
you not entertained?
now that
Um,
I don't know.
a non-compete clause. That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, very good question. I don't know, and I don't know if that becomes null and void because a lot of times I know in radio, if you get
Mhm.
fired, that still stands. You can't go to another radio station within a certain amount of miles. So
Yeah.
that's a factor.
Jocelyn is not black. Jocelyn is not black. Not
She's
in
something
any way,
different every
shape, or
other
form.
year.
She's not. Jocelyn is not black. She's Latina. Lately, she has been claiming black. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But she's one of them people. Y'all, you know the people y'all talk about. You black when it's convenient. You black when it's convenient. Jocelyn is one of those people. Okay, she's Latina.
Yeah,
That's why
but
she calls herself the Puerto Rican princess. Though no Puerto Ricans claim her and know her. We don't know her. We don't know.
yeah, but it's funny about that because Obama was always black when it was convenient for black people.
Right. When he
So
won, he was the first black president, right?
Same thing with
yeah,
same thing with Kamala. Same thing with
they'll call
Kamala.
you black when it's convenient for them too. When it's
Yeah.
convenient for them, all of a sudden you black too. So
Right. I loves me some Kamala. I don't want him. Don't nobody say nothing about my Kamala. That's good black folk.
when I'm not because it's real funny.
You got the
When
Kamala
I'm not
hair
saying,
tonight, okay, Lily?
Right,
Oh,
right.
or is it me? That do I got? She be like,
Those are
love
my
me
two
some
memes.
Kamala.
That meme and this one. Those are my two favorite
She
memes.
goes,
I love it.
right.
Oh, right. Same thing with Raya and all them. Like they,
I know,
it's
this is old news. I know Latina is not a race. I never said Latina is a race. She can claim whatever she wants. Yeah. She can claim whatever she wants week to week, right? Because she was Latina when she first started. Now she's black. She could claim whatever she wants, but she's not black by culture. Okay. That's why she eats mango in the morning. All right. Not even by culture is that woman black. Okay. Now it depends how you're using the word black as an ethnicity. What's black to you? Is it complexion? Is it hair kink? Is it music? Is it culture? Because I got a feeling she probably grew up with Celia Cruz and not Motown on her record player at her mama's house. So how are we using the word black? When you say she's black, what do you mean complexion? Do you mean kink of her hair? Do you mean culture? Do you mean food? What exactly do you mean, ma'am?
do you mean
What do you mean?
accent? Because that's
You
not a
mean
black
accent?
accent.
Like, right? Is because she calls us I'm the Puerto Rican princess. So is that black? Because I've never heard any black women. I'm the Puerto Rican princess. I've never heard that. So how are you using it? Because the word black changes
she really
every
sounds
other
like
month.
that, bro. She really
Right?
fucking sounds like that. She looks like
I'm
That's
sorry,
how
my
she sounds.
mind.
she really said
Did
that. I'm
she
the
say
Puerto
she?
Rican princess and the Puerto
Did she say she eats? Did she? I swear she said. Did she say she eats my goo?
Mango, mango,
Mango.
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 Oh my god, you can play.
Mangu, mango,
Okay.
mango. Yeah, but no, I think we can end on that specifically. What is black? When someone says, if she says she's black, how are we using black? How are we using black? I'm curious. I'm really
Okay.
curious. I'm not being facetious. How are we using black?
Okay. So a few people are answering, so we can look at some of these answers here.
Okay.
Well, I don't know because
Chat, you can answer too. Chat, you can answer too.
whenever a perspective needs to be had, I'm a black man, and whenever my answer is not satisfactory, it's nigga go back to Jamaica. So I don't know.
That's true.
I don't really know.
So if I say, because they're saying black is not a race, right? Okay. If I wet my hair, you guys know I get the Maxwell, right? I'm not repellent to the sun. I get real caramel if I tan. You guys have seen me tan, right? So today I'm calling myself black. So that means I could get reparations, right?
Yeah,
I will
well, see
say
now
this: when we were
I
in
could get
Las Vegas,
reparations.
they're not gonna let you do that. That's what
But they got to, Lily, because I said I was
no,
black.
no,
If
no.
I identify as black, that means I'm black. So I want my reparations. So I could get my reparations.
Well, no, we want it both ways though, Jen. So you can be black up until that point. There's rules. There's a rule book.
It's rules.
There's standards. We have
Can
standards,
somebody
okay?
give me the book, please?
We have standards, Jen.
this is some
Okay, and these
complex
are our
shit, man.
standards.
This is some complex shit.
Okay, so I can get insulted by Trump, but I can't get reparations. I can't wear cornrows, but I can date black men, or no? Is that off the table too?
No,
Depending
you can
on who
date
you
black men
ask.
because dudes will come after you anyway. So they'll
Oh
be
yeah.
like, "Fuck that." That's good.
But
That's a done.
Yeah.
But I can't
That's a done.
but I can't have an opinion on black
No.
women, although I'm black. And my opinion only stands because I take black dick.
No.
Yeah, I don't know how
No.
this works.
You
Hold
have an
on.
opinion just as
I
long
gotta
as
go
it's
back to the table of
favorable.
context.
It's a
What happened,
favorable
Haran?
opinion. As long as it's a favorable opinion, as long as you're not taking anyone to task, then you can have an opinion. As long as your opinions align with theirs,
That is on page
then
133.
yes. Paragraph C.
I remember. I remember now. I remember now. Yeah.
Paragraph
We're
C
assholes. We're
Black-
assholes.
of the Nigga
We're assholes.
Chronicles.
Okay, the Nigga Chronicles. Okay, what
Okay,
else?
a bountiful soul says, as a race of people, specifically to the U.S., definition of black as in race. Okay, well, she's not from the U.S., so does that make her not black? Because she's not from the U.S. I don't know.
Yeah, that's not a U.S. accent there.
Okay, yeah, it's too complicated. I'm Puerto Rican. It's too complicated.
Oh God, it's just it is.
Oh
Because
wait, the Jewish people are back. So that's the Jewish handbook. You can only tell. I get excited when the Jewish people come. So wait. But wait a minute. But this is complicated as well because he said that's the Jewish handbook. You can only talk good on us or we'll destroy you. What Jewish people though? Because black people are the original Jews.
Oh, yep. You gotta
And it gets
take
even
that into
more complicated.
consideration.
And it gets even more fucking.
That's in the next edition. We're gonna address that in the next edition.
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we couldn't get that. We couldn't fit.
Version.
Yeah, we
Yes.
didn't want to murky the waters with the first edition, so we will wait.
God damn
Yeah.
it. I knew I needed to make that shit.
That's too much. That's too much. It's too much.
All these damn manuals.
I can't keep up. I can't. I just
Well
can't.
then, oh my Vegatron, you got some fighting to do, honey. He said, we're not original Jews. That's prison shit. You got some fighting to do because there's a lot of black people.
Well, Kanye said otherwise.
Right. And so did Kyrie. You in trouble.
Yeah, all of them. All of these cats said it.
They lost a lot of money behind that.
Boy and all that.
You got a lot of fighting to do.
They was willing to lose millions and billions over standing on that hill. So you got some fighting to do.
Fuck that. I ain't losing shit. I got grandbabies. We going to Disney World, bitch.
Hello.
Right.
Hello. Hello.
Fuck all that.
Okay.
This was we need to come on late more often. This was popping. I got new subscribers. I want to shout out to all my new subscribers from the bottom of my little ice cold heart. We got new subbies. According to one of the hate watchers, I was getting dragged on X, formerly known as Twitter. Tonight was a good fucking night. That's what I'm talking about.
So,
please share.
Who drug you on Twitter?
We don't know these people, child.
We don't. Who knows?
But we love them.
Whoever drags anybody on
right.
Twitter. Like, whoever
you
drags
name?
anybody.
When you're being dragged. Exactly. That just means by multiple people.
Yeah.
That we don't know.
Yeah, but it got people over here. But it's so funny to me when like they think it's real power. So they're like, you getting dragged on Twitter. And I'm like, okay, so please use a nice picture. Please use a nice picture. Spell my name right. It is on the block with Jen. On the block with Jen. It's not Jen on the block. On the block with Jen. But it's funny, they say it like, because these people, they have no real power. It's pseudo power. So they really feel like they're saying something to you. You're getting dragged on Twitter. And it's like, okay, more money for me.
Wait a minute.
They don't understand how.
One second. Side note, DL Hughley is liking Pearly Things posts. I think he likes milk of magnesia.
Okay, let me say this about Mr. DL. Okay. Let me say this about Mr. DL. I do not think, just like with Steve Harvey, I don't think that he's the one doing all his social media. So when you see like a celebrity,
He's after my girlfriend. Vegatron, you You think
I'm
pearly
not
things is
surprised.
okay?
Yeah, I'm not
You think
surprised that
pearly
he's
things
into
is
pearly
okay?
things.
Woohoo!
I'm not surprised he's into pearly things.
You like it? I love it,
Um,
bro.
Nobody else is into her, but hey. Um, so yeah, so DL Hughley liking her post, that's probably like his assistant or somebody, because these celebrities don't run their own pages. They can't. Like every now and then they'll pop in and drop something, but you really think all them racial posts that are going on DL's page is him? No. They're creating, like Steve Harvey said, what is it? And
Engagement.
engagement. Yeah,
Engagement.
that's
That's
what they're
all.
doing. Engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would do the same thing. If I had an assistant, I'd be like, look, just post whatever's popping, whatever's trending, whatever gets people talking. I'm in Hawaii sipping my little
Right.
pina colada.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
After a while, you can't
Um
keep up with what's triggering people. You can't. You know what I
mhm,
mean? You need somebody young and fresh to know what the talking points
mhm.
are, blah, blah, blah. You throw that motherfucker over there. Be like, hey, whatever's popping to keep these people, entertained and paying attention, go say that shit, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people are entertained and being triggered.
Right.
Right.
It's just that
Yes.
simple. That's their
Yes.
entertainment. Their entertainment is being upset.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
let them have
Ooh,
it.
mm. I predict. Speaking of, I do have a recommendation for everybody to watch on Netflix. It's very very interesting, very very interesting. It's called Live to 100 on Netflix. Live to 100 on Netflix is basically this man that went around the globe studying societies and communities that live over 100. And these are not like, little dying. I'm talking about 100 years old, still active, still working, still like, working on their gardens, still sewing. So he went to all these little like communities in Japan and, different places. Very, very interesting. They talk about what they eat, what's the biggest part of their diets, how they live, sleep, work, who they surround themselves with. There was a woman that was 100, and she was surrounded with her family, and she was so still vibrant. You know what I mean? In Japan, Okinawa, and they were asking her like, what's the secret? Blah blah. She was like, you have to surround yourself with people that value you, that love you, people that tell you you're still important, right? Which is in this country, if you notice, what do? We disrespect our elders and we throw them away. They're no good anymore. So in Japan, the elders are very, very important to the
Hmm.
family. And the women outlive the men too.
That's in every culture. But I'm gonna watch that because I have always made it a point to keep elders around me because I actually have been one of those people I have that wasn't in denial that I was gonna age at some point,
Mhm.
right? So I'm always the person who's just always looking like, okay, what is this group doing right and what are they doing wrong? And what can I learn? What can I take away from it? And what can I delete from my life that I'm
Mhm.
doing wrong that they're doing wrong?
Mhm.
And so yeah, what you said is the conclusion I came to for longevity. It's the biggest thing, two of the biggest things is attitude and movement.
Mm.
And in this country, we do not move. The furthest most of us walk is to our car, and from the car to the building, and from the building to the car, right?
Mhm.
And then, like you say, who you surround yourself with, and diet.
So consequently, it's also, well, obviously they live in a culture that provides it. It's not, provides them that lifestyle. It's also some certain foods. I know they eat certain kinds of foods. There's certain areas on earth that have centenarians on a higher rate. Japan being one. I want to say someplace in like Italy and Greece is another one. And it all has to do with everything you're saying. It has to do with they get up and move. Their society isn't built around a car. They're around family and they have good food.
And
Um,
I'm going to add too that both of my great grandmothers passed at 101,
mm.
but and both of them ate whatever the fuck they wanted to eat. That was crazy. And
No,
people are like, oh well, back then, and I'm like,
my
this was
grandma,
last year.
yeah, my grandmother lived to what, 92, 93, and she ate whatever. I mean, the sodas, the fried foods, the just ate
Yeah.
whatever was, and she didn't die like, from hypertension or diabetes. She didn't have diabetes. She
Nope.
didn't have heart disease. She
So
checked out
yeah,
in
I
her
mean,
sleep.
some people win the genetic lottery. I know my friend's dad. He died in his late 80s, and his mom's in his 90s, and they smoked for 40 or 50 years. Now, they would have had a much better demise if they didn't, especially the dad who had ended up dying. You had the emphysema and everything. But yeah, there's certainly genetic lotteries out there as well. But I'm saying in a concentration where a lot of people are living, and like Lily said, or like Jen, you said, they don't look frail. It's
Also, and
genetics plus.
what Lily was saying, it's a lot of movement. They do a lot of movement. Like the men still do martial arts. They practice some form of martial arts. And also in Japan, they don't have a lot of furniture. You already know how they live in Japan. And they eat on the floor. They sit on the floor. They don't have couches and chairs. So they were talking about how the older people, they're constantly standing up and sitting down, standing up, sitting down, and it strengthens their core and their legs. They're constantly standing up and sitting down. Everything they do, they stand up and sit down. They're sitting on the floor. I was like, shit, you can even imagine Americans like sitting on the floor and getting up and standing and getting everything is remote control and ordering food and ordering clothes. We don't go outside.
Sounds like we should go to mass.
Well, it's so funny because I make it a point to
but
do.
But even there, you sitting on a bench.
But you're on your knees, up, down, up. Down.
Yeah, I'm making a point to do that. Like just sit on the floor at times. Just certain things. And y'all know I love to walk. I do like 3 to 5 miles a day. That's my thing. It's not a chore for me. That's why I don't sit there and be like, oh, you all need, because I know for me it's just my thing. For anyone else, it'd be a chore. So it's hard. I mean, because that's just not the American way. That's just not how we're here to do.
Yeah. And I noticed people, in Japan, they were talking about like the closer you are to the water, the equator. It's very interesting. They eat a lot of the purple sweet potato. The purple sweet potato is a huge part of their diet. But it's interesting to listen to the old people, like what they say, and they have like these little communities where they all like look out for each other. If someone's it's amazing. And I only saw episode 1. So I'll go back to it probably as I fall to my slumber. All right, guys, we got 10 minutes left, but I think we could end on that note. That's my recommendation. Watch Live to 100 on Netflix. Thank you so much, chat, for holding me down. Thank you for all the hate watching and the lurkers. You guys count too. You add to my numbers. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out. Por favor. I hope you enjoyed the show. We got more and more and more of this coming next week. We also have content where we all link together. Everyone you see on this panel was living together in Vegas for a week and a half. We have content coming for that as well. And let's see what happens. Again, to close, Erica Mena will be back on Love and Hip Hop. Mona Scott likes her money. So I think she will be back. And thank you so much for everyone who shares the content and comes back. We can't do this without you. Please be sure to follow everybody you see on this panel, because we all have different kinds of content. Lily is a makeup artist. Haran DeMarco is a musician. No Saint is America. And no. We are out of here. Go ahead, No Saint.
I'd like to say good night to Mr. Unicorn and Moxie. And please, people, come over and subscribe to my channel.
All right. Are you guys going up tomorrow or no? You don't know?
I don't think I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm taking them to the...
Well, I'm going to be getting some content tomorrow, so who knows? I might throw some stuff up there.
Okay,
cool. And I'm taking you all. I'm going to take you all to the Caribbean Day Parade on Monday. So
nice.
Look out for that on Monday.
Are you going to be twerking? Are you going to be twerking?
I could, pull out a little piece of a twerk if that's, what's going to get the algorithm. A little piece just for the algorithm.
Listen, I'm going in tomorrow, and it's not going to be easy if they're twerking where I'm going. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
So I don't know. I may have to blur out certain stuff on the video. Who knows?
As long as they're not naked, you're fine.
Right.
Well, daytime is supposed to be family friendly, I think. So, also, yeah, I did buy a mic for my phone, so I don't know. I may need some ideas for questions, but we can talk about that tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Fall back for a minute. Chat. Love y'all. See y'all next week. Good night. Go watch that on Netflix. Good night, guys.